Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this evening news report right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin with tonight's news report. Volodymyr Zhukovskyy found not guilty in crash that killed 7 motorcyclists in Randolph. Zhukovskyy faced negligent homicide and manslaughter charges. A truck driver has been found not guilty of manslaughter or negligent homicide in connection with the death of 7 motorcyclists in a 2019 crash in Randolph. It took the jury about 2 hours to reach a verdict on the 15 charges Volodymyr Zhukovskyy faced. Zhukovskyy faced 7 counts of manslaughter and 7 counts of negligent homicide, in addition to a charge of reckless conduct. He was found not guilty on all charges. As the verdicts were read, Zhukovskyy gasped, looked upward several times, kissed his hand, and pointed up before taking off his glasses and crying into his hand. Several family members and friends of the victims were in tears as they left the courtroom. Jurors received the case shortly before noon Tuesday, and the verdict was read at about 2:40 p.m. The judge previously dismissed charges of manslaughter and negligent homicide that alleged Zhukovskyy was impaired at the time of the crash. The remaining charges related to the accusations that Zhukovskyy was acting recklessly at the time of the crash. Zhukovskyy has been in jail for the past 3 years as the case moved through the court system. He left the courthouse in a sheriff's department truck and was taken back to the jail for the night. It's unclear when Zhukovskyy might be released. Correction officials said Zhukovskyy was served an immigration detainer issued by the Department of Homeland Security and will be held on the detainer for DHS. In a written statement, Governor Chris Sununu called the verdict a tragedy. The fallen 7 did not receive justice today, and that is an absolute tragedy, Sununu said. I share in the shock, outrage, and anger that so many have expressed in the 3 years since the 7 members of the Jarrahhead Motorcycle Club were taken from us. My heart goes out to their families, friends, and loved ones on this especially dark day. Attorney General John Formella said in a written statement that he believes prosecutors provided their case. Our hearts go out to the victims and their families, he said. Our trial team did an excellent job, and we firmly believe that the state provided its case beyond reasonable doubt. Mr. Zhukovskyy should have been found guilty of the charges in this case and held responsible for causing 7 deaths and numerous injuries. We thank the court and the jurors for their service, and while we are extremely disappointed, we respect the verdict and our system of justice. Massachusetts officials confirmed that Zhukovskyy's commercial driver's license is disqualified and his passenger license is suspended. Before closing arguments were delivered Tuesday morning and out of the presence of the jury, The defense moved to dismiss the charges or have the judge order a verdict of not guilty, arguing that the state hadn't proven the case beyond a reasonable doubt. That motion was denied. Defense attorney Jay began his closing argument by placing the blame for the accident squarely on the lead motorcyclist for the Jarrahheads Motorcycle Club, who was killed in the crash. The defense attorney said he was drunk and drifted over the center line and into the path of Zhukovsky's truck. The defense attempted to discredit witness testimony, especially from the Jarrahheads, pointing out inconsistency in their testimony, including how much people had been drinking that day. From the beginning of this investigation, the state had made up their mind about what had happened. Evidence be demand, defense attorney said. They came to a erroneous conclusion about how the accident occurred within 24 hours of the accident and didn't even pretend to conduct an actual investigation. Prosecutors said it was clear who caused the crash, saying Zhukovsky's fault was corroborated by the testimony of eyewitness and the words of the defendant in an interview. In his own words, he said that he crossed the line just a little bit. He made sure to qualify just a little bit, and then he hit those motorcyclists that were right there, said Assistant Attorney General Scott Chase. You'll have that interview go through again. And that does it for this evening news report right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for watching this evening news report. Have a great evening, good night, and goodbye.